Now that Captain America has retired from the MCU, what does this mean for the future of the MCU? So yeah, I wanted to talk about that, and of course we will be getting into spoilers. So spoiler alert for Avengers Endgame. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, then come back to this video because we will be talking about that ending and about what it means for the future of the MCU. Okay, so you're starting from now. Spoiler alert. So if you have seen Avengers Endgame, you'll know the ending of Captain America. He's an old man now. He has retired from playing superhero. He's no longer Captain America. He's giving his shield to Falcon, and yeah, like Tony Stark died at the end of that movie. So, what does all of this mean for the MCU? So I guess to start off this topic, I want to say Kevin Feige, he still has plans for the future of the MCU, and for like the rest of this year, we still have a couple of other Marvel movies coming out. We have the Dark Phoenix movie, we have Morbius, and we have Spider-Man Far From Homecoming. So we still have Marvel movies coming out this year, but we're entering Phase 4, and I feel like here's what I think Marvel should do. So I feel like they should give Fantastic Four another chance and just give the rights all to Marvel. So Marvel keeps the rights to these characters, to this property, and Marvel just makes their own movie on it. Because I feel like with the other Fantastic Four movies, I feel like Fox got too involved in the movie that they wanted to make, and they weren't giving like the director enough chance to do what he wanted to do. I feel like this Fox, they got their hands over that property a little bit too much. So I feel like if they just give all the money, all the property, all of that to Marvel, and Marvel just keeps those rights, and Marvel makes the movie this time, not Fox, and Marvel doesn't get their hands on a Fantastic Four at all this time, I feel like that's when we will get a good Fantastic Four movie, because that 2014 or 2015 Fantastic Four reboot, I feel like it had potential in it, but I feel like what was so bad about that was just the script and the way the characters progressed through that. And because Fox got their hands too invested in that movie. So I feel like now would be another great chance. Now that we're entering phase 4 of the MCU, I feel like now would be another great chance to redeem Fantastic Four and give them the proper movie that they deserve and own. And I don't want to give hate to the two original Fantastic Four movies. I actually kind of like the two original ones. I like Rise of the Silver Surfer. That's just in my opinion, though. And another movie I would like to see is Iron Fist, because we don't have an Iron Fist, movie yet. Like, they've made a Netflix TV show on Iron Fist, and that was actually made by Marvel. Like, Marvel kept the rights to that show, but we've never really seen Iron Fist, because the movies are bigger budget than TV shows. TV shows are like a TV show budget there, but I feel like with a movie budget, there's so much more you can do with the character and the story of Iron Fist. And I feel like that's maybe an opportunity you could take with Iron Fist, is you could make an Iron Fist movie for Phase 4 of Marvel. Another character would be She-Hulk. I feel like we've already introduced Hulk into the MCU, and he's been played by like Edward Norton and Mark Ruffalo. But I feel like it would be a great time to actually introduce She-Hulk, and then there could be like that whole like Incredible Hulk and She-Hulk like teaming up together. There could be like that type of a movie after maybe She-Hulk has her own solo movie and her being introduced into the MCU. Maybe Mark Ruffalo's Hulk can like team up with She-Hulk in a movie, and that can be like one whole movie there. I just feel like that would be like a great opportunity to just introduce, now that like Chris Evans has retired officially from the MCU and Robert Downey Jr. is like dead. I mean, his character, he's not dead, but that character of Iron Man is dead. He won't be returning to the MCU. I feel like now would be just a great opportunity I feel like now would be just a great opportunity to show all these new characters that have not been in the MCU, because for the past 11 years they've been just building up the Avengers characters and just building up to Endgame, building those Endgame characters like Guardians and all that. And we also already know that Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that's in production. It was originally going to be directed by, I think, David Ayer from memory, but now then James Gunn, he's back to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3, so we know Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming. because that movie has had a lot of talk on social media and just on like comic book resources. I've read like a lot of articles on that. So yeah, we know Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming. Luke Cage, I think that might be another great like opportunity to take in. Like another character, I feel like this would be a great villain to see. Another great villain that we would be able to see would be Galactus. Because I feel like Galactus, he's so well known in the comics. I feel like translating him to screen, it would be hard to do that. But I feel like if it's done right, Galactus could be like a new MCU villain for like the next 5 years of the MCU. And this isn't confirmed, but maybe they can make a Captain Marvel sequel and maybe it's do another villain, not the Skrulls. Maybe the Skrulls can have a small like role in the sequel of Captain Marvel, but make just a totally different Captain Marvel movie. Just maybe like building more on her character, and just kind of feel like that's going to happen definitely sometime down the line. And it has not been announced yet that they're going to make Captain Marvel 2, but I feel like it's heading in the direction that they're going to make Captain Marvel 2 sometime down the line of Phase 4 of Marvel. But I feel like just now that Chris Evans has retired and all of this has happened in Endgame now, I feel like now is such a great opportunity to just introduce new characters that you have not got the chance to even see on screen. Because there's so many MCU characters that are in the comics that have not been introduced on screen. We have not seen on screen. Ghost Rider, I have actually no problem with the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider. I really enjoy him in those movies. It's like, don't judge me there. It's just my own opinion. I'm just viewing all of this from my standpoint and where I think the MCU could go. But I feel like making Ghost Rider as a part of the MCU, because I feel like those Ghost Rider movies, they were not well delivered just by critics and just by moviegoers. So I feel like it would be a great time to redeem his character and redeem Ghost Rider, because he's such a visually interesting looking character, and there's so much you can do with Ghost Rider. I mean, his storylines in the comics are indescribable. Like, his storylines are just so incredible. Just his backstory. There's so much stuff you can just do with the character of Ghost Rider, and just him selling his soul to the devil. There's something very horror there. So I feel like you can make a great horror toned Ghost Rider movie, but still having that superhero themed in there as well. So I feel like now would be a great time to redeem Ghost Rider. And like I said, Kevin Feige, he has plans for the future of the MCU, but I feel like just like I said, there's just like a lot of characters in the MCU. Wonder Man. Also, speaking of Wonder Man, I mean, I've read a couple of his storylines in the comics, and Wonder Man, he's an actual character, just in case you did not know that. Wonder Man, I haven't read too much into his character, but if he's not related to Wonder Woman, from what I've researched and read in the comics. He's not related to Wonder Woman, but in the MCU, maybe they can actually connect Wonder Man and Wonder Woman together and just make a movie there. But yeah, there's so many characters in the MCU that I feel like Marvel is just dishing under that I feel like there's like a lot of MCU characters that Marvel is just dishing under the rug and they just have nothing to do with. But I feel like there's so much you can do with these characters, and there's so many like unexplored MCU characters and so many unexplored storylines. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of judging this from the ending of Endgame and from what Kevin Feige has said. From what I've heard, New Mutants, I don't think that is a Marvel movie. I have not heard much about it besides that it's been delayed multiple times. It's now got delayed to like August this year, and now it's got like delayed to like next year sometime. So I'm not sure when that movie is going to be released, but Marvel still has a couple plans for a couple of future movies. If Morbius does well, Jared Leto's Morbius, which I'm excited for, if that movie does well, we'll more likely get a Morbius sequel. A Captain Marvel 2, like I said, will definitely happen sometime down the line. But there's just these great opportunities with characters like She-Hulk and Iron Fist. I think now would be a great time for Marvel to introduce the new Avengers, which is, like Wolverine, Spider-Man, and all of them. And I know we already have like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but maybe he could somehow, because like the new Avengers is an actual thing, and now that the Avengers they've kind of gone their opposite ways with the loss of Iron Man and Captain America retiring, I feel like now it's like Marvel. I feel like it's just begging to introduce the new Avengers, and they can get a new group of heroes that have not been respected. I mean, they've been respected in comics, but that will get more of a talk, like on the web and all that. Because I feel like the new Avengers, I feel like that's that's something you can do. Nova, I feel like a really great character in Marvel. There's so much you can do with just his side and his career of a character. And Wonder Man, and apparently like he was with Wonder Man's character, he was one of the first members of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and like that's kind of his story, and there's so much you can do with that with like the very early stages of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Marvel's been planning a Doctor Doom movie for quite a while, so maybe that can happen, but I just feel like there's just so many opportunities Marvel can just take with Phase 4, and maybe even continuing on with Phase 5, and depends how well all of these movies do at box office. Like I said, I'm just throwing characters out here that I feel like it's just so rare in comic books, and their stories are just so visually interesting, and they're just so like interesting characters in comic books, and they have so many interesting storylines. I feel like you can translate so much of that onto screen, and with like a high budget film, you can make it work. I feel like this Nova, he's such an interesting character, but yeah, like I've been in the talks for the Doctor Doom movie for quite a while. I mean, a Silver Surfer solo movie, I think that would be a great movie to happen maybe sometime down the line, because we've only seen him in one movie, and that was Rise of the Silver Surfer. But I feel like there's just so many characters here. You can make another Daredevil movie if Marvel wants, and like there's just so many opportunities here just from the ending of Endgame that you can do, because I feel like Marvel has all these great characters that you have not used yet, that I feel like now is a great time to actually introduce, now opening with Phase 4, because like Spider-Man Far From Homecoming, that's supposed to be the end of Phase 3, so they could open like Phase 4 with like a Nova movie or a Captain Marvel sequel, and then they can even continue all of these storylines and characters into Phase 5. If they go ahead and do the direction of the new Avengers, I can see that happening for Phase 4 and Phase 5, like maybe have that during like the end of Phase 4 being like one of the last movies of Phase 4, and then carry that over to Phase 5. And all of Phase 4 can just be like a solo movie for building all of these characters, and Tom Holland's Spider-Man can be a part of the new Avengers, and how maybe like his Spider-Man meets like Wolverine, because I feel like they can also like redeem the X-Men, because I feel like they've been wanting to redeem the X-Men movies for quite a while, so I feel like now you'll be able to do something wildly creative with the X-Men characters. So like Marvel, they have all these great opportunities just hanging about, that they can easily continue making movies for Phase 4 and Phase 5 from what happened in the ending of Endgame. Like Endgame, it leaves you with so many questions for the future of the MCU, but there's all these underused characters that Marvel is just leaving in the comic book, and I feel like if you translate them well from comic book onto screen, if you get a talented director behind these characters, you can make an awesome movie here. So I mean, I'm just saying, Marvel, you have all these great characters just hanging about, just hanging around, that you can just use. Like Nova, just tell me how cool a movie like Nova would be. I think he was rumored to actually be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for like a small cameo there, and Captain Britain, I think he's an underused character that can be introduced into the MCU for the next 3 phases of Marvel. If they go for that long, you can do all these characters that they're just laying around. You can put them into an amazing on-screen movie, get a talented director, get a talented producer behind it. Even if it's directed by a first-time director, I would love to see all these characters on screen. Nova, I would love to see him. Iron Fist, yes. I mean, there's always these characters. A Doctor Doom solo movie, do you know what? Go ahead. There's all these opportunities, Marvel, and I feel like you just aren't taking, because Marvel, you own the rights to all of these characters. but you just aren't using them to their full potential. You're just letting them. You're just relying them in a comic book. That's all you're using them for. So I feel like now's a great time to pick up your act and actually do something with all these underused characters and make them worldwide. Make people start talking about them. Because, like, did anyone else out there know of a character named Wonder Man? Like, there's so many cool storylines you can just do with that character alone. In a solo movie, you can do something really cool with Wonder Man. Like, if I was a creator of Marvel, I would just do all the solo movies first for all these characters and then gain up to do bigger, better movies that with like higher budgets and all that and with a bigger cast. Because Endgame proves that you can make a great movie with only 2 directors behind the camera, and I would love to see this. I would love to see these characters on screen, bad or good. If the movies are bad, well, yeah. But if it's good, that's wicked. So Marvel, I'm just telling you have all these great characters, and you aren't using them. You're just, and I feel like you can do something cool from the next couple of phases of Marvel if they continue to go that long. But anyways, like, what am I here to just say here? I'm just kind of giving my own opinion on all of this. So anyways, let me know down in the comments, what do you think Chris Evans' retirement means for the MCU? Do you think we will get all these characters' movies onto screen? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Till next time, guys, see you later.